Jayson Tatum started that whole conversation.
Yeah, and
I
you
want
didn't
to
even
ask you
mention
this
him
about.
one time. You didn't mention him one
Well,
time.
we talked
Until
about him
now.
last week, but we talked about him last week. I was trying not to rehash the whole conversation,
Okay.
even though I just did. The Celtics are 7.5 games up on the East. They're riding an 8-game winning streak. And I've come to find out they have the 10th best net rating ever. They're not 8 games up, they're 7.5 games up. Just want to be accurate. And I'm wondering if this team, because last year I was one of these people that wanted to blow them up. I was like, they'll never win together. I was like, they'll never win together. The Tatum Brown experiment has run its course. Motherfucking, they'll never win. It's not meant to be. Here they are, the best team in basketball, and they seem to be a smarter team. They're a very unselfish team. And so I want to ask you a 2-part question, sorry, Sawatsky, because I'd love to get your thoughts on this since you're seeing them up close. Is there something to be said? Because a lot of times when people think about, hey, best player on best team as MVP, it's more about like recognition. But I don't know if people truly recognize that Jayson Tatum's statistics don't tell the story of how he's powering this team.
Yeah.
And I know you know what I'm talking about. Like you probably put it in better terms than I can, but it's almost like he's conceding MVP for the greater good. In terms of the way he's playing and the example that he's setting. So he's not just best player on best team statistically, they are the best team because their best player allows them to be the best team. Like he's not carrying them as much as he's guiding them, if that makes sense, or if I'm using the right phrase. And the second thing is, are the Celtics believable this year? Because it's always felt like something's been missing at the end of the year in the playoffs, whether it's chemistry, whether it's schematically. Do you believe in them that they can not only be the best team in the regular season, but be the best team when it's all said and done? So 2-part question, take it away.
Yeah, well, I'll say watch out for Jayson Tatum. Watch out for him. He's 25. He's going to be 26 next month. 26. So when you talk about, hey, as a lot of people did, when they lost last year to Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals, they were down zip 3, came back, forced Game 7, then Game 7, Miami ran away with it. Okay, it's over. People were mad at Jaylen Brown, turned the ball over too much. Mad at Jayson Tatum, hey, he got hurt, but he should have stepped up. Isaiah stepped up. He got hurt. He twisted his ankle. Remember that one? Kind of like it was anger. It was anger, especially in Boston when you've won so much and the standard is championships. But I say watch out for Tatum because at 25, going on 26, if he wins a championship this year, watch out. Winning a championship 2 years before your prime, going to your second NBA Finals, and then getting a win your second time there. First time there, 23. They were up 2-1 over the Warriors. And then we hear this, that Steph told them, hey, enjoy your last win. That's cold. Enjoy your last win in the finals because we're going to win. And they did. So the experience and the talent of the Golden State Warriors really was the star in what the story in Boston was not that. The story in Boston was, hey, Jayson Tatum came up small in the NBA Finals at 23 years old, shooting like 30-something% from the field and just looking overwhelmed by the Warriors who figured him out. Don't let him win now. Don't let him win now because then he becomes that guy
Floodgates go open.
who will just, he's going to start collecting a lot of them. And I do believe he's got it and they have it this year for a couple of reasons. One, Tatum is a smart player. He didn't get enough credit.
That's what I'm saying.
One of the smartest players in the league.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like the way they're playing right now, it starts with him, and the numbers don't bear it out.
If you just
necessarily.
watch him, everybody he's got size. So a guy 6'8", 6'9", shooting threes like that, going to the basket like that, yeah, it's mesmerizing, and he can put 50 up pretty quickly. We've seen that in Game 7. He did it in Game 7 last year against Philly. Did it in Game 6 the previous year against the Milwaukee Bucks to stave off elimination. But what I like watching him do is defend. Mike, I know Coach Michael Smith, I know you coach your son and his friends. Tell them, if you want your team to really be locked in on defense, tell them to watch Jayson Tatum defensively. I never see him blow a defensive assignment. He never is confused or overwhelmed on defense. It's unbelievable. He's a great defensive player, and he never gets credit for that. So I think they have it. And the other thing I'll say about their team, I was just talking about Tatum, but their team, you want to talk about upgrades, they trade away, Rob Williams and part of that, Rob Williams and Malcolm Brogdon, they bring in Drew Holiday. Great trade. They trade away Marcus Smart. People are like, oh, how do you trade Marcus Smart? And they bring in Porzingis.
Yeah.
So they upgraded with two players like that. The only question about them is their depth.
What is the question? I'm wondering if they have any weaknesses. I was wondering if they have weaknesses.
Depth.
What is the question?
Depth. Okay, depth. On the bench. So if you're starting five, you got Holiday, Brown, you got Porzingis, you've got Tatum, and throw in Derek White. So now you got Horford at 37 as your first guy off the bench. You got Horford, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser.
Yeah.
They just picked up Xavier Tillman, good defender. So I think everybody, you need a guy off the bench. In some championship run, one of those bench guys is going to has to hit a big shot. That happens. They don't have to carry you, but somebody's got to hit a big shot in a playoff game, in a finals game. It has happened in the history of the finals. There's always some dude who's not an all-star who's got to do something special on a championship run. And one of those guys do it? That's the question. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.